Okay, we are live and India are the champions. So that's a very good start to the post-match show that India have won the Tri-Nation Series and they have defeated Sri Lanka. And I think it has been a good performance in a final. But we'll come to that. We'll come to that. We'll come to Trishati and Naman about it. Absolutely, you guys join us and share your comments also. But Trishati, a good win. Before the series, we all know that India are starting this series as favorites. They lost only one match overall, and in the final, I think it was a comprehensive victory. That one we are talking about in the pre-match. But I will come to you. How do you think was this is enough comprehensive as you have thought in the pre-match?
Yeah, the only match where India played, it seemed like it was India
Yes,
Sri Lanka, and
yes,
not,
yes,
other days I think India almost plays Sri Lanka like they are England, but today they finally seem to realize. But that too, if you look at it, still Nilakshi got going. I think all of them got going. So I would say a
mhm,
lot of positives for Sri Lanka. But that
yes.
97 runs victory is what was expected from India. I know a lot of you. Somebody today told me that I watch. I had gone to a friend's place and somebody said, I don't watch women's cricket, and this is a huge compliment. I actually wanted to share it on the show that he told me that I don't watch women's cricket. Nothing against women, but I was never really aware of women's cricket, and he's an older man, right? He said because of my friend, he started watching the show because my friend watches the show for me. So he said, I started watching the show, and now I don't know when the match is, or I have no idea what the tournament is all about. But I do watch your shows because I know I'll get to know everything. So
Wow,
kudos, and
lovely.
knows all three of us by name. Read Naman's reports, Snehashish. Um, you became Snehashish Mukhopadhyay. So I was like, no, no, not Mukhopadhyay, he's Mukherjee. So good job, guys, and let's keep it up. But yeah,
So
getting
good
back to
team.
the point, I think yes, it was a convincing win. India played the way they should have, but still, I would say with India, lot of um a number of negatives to take from the series. Whereas if you look at South Africa and Sri Lanka, they actually have a lot of positives to take from the series. So I think that's the mild difference. If anybody asks me, again, speaking, going back to that conversation, he said, but you generally seem to be very critical. I said, I'm not very critical. I don't become happy easily because I know the skill level. I don't think skill level between India and the Sri Lankan team is as close as it seemed in the series. So that is where I felt today is the only match where it seemed like it was India Sri Lanka. Having said that, yes, if we do a series review as such, I would still say that India is actually taking more troubles and question marks than South Africa and Sri Lanka.
Yes, absolutely. Naman, your thoughts on this huge win in final?
First win was also a massive win against Sri Lanka. So, I mean, yeah, it was an all round performance to be fair. India were the red hot favorites today, not just today, but for the entire tournament because they have been
Yes.
in the form. They defeated Ireland and West Indies comprehensively. And I think in these conditions, India was always going to be favorites, and I think they showed why they were favorites today. And I think Smriti Mandhana, Sneh Rana. To be fair, Smriti Mandhana, we expect her to score every now and then. So I won't say anything. I mean, I was surprised by her innings. She played brilliantly well, no doubt about that. She played the spinners well, even though she in the end got out to a finger spinner only. But again, no qualms over how the way she got out, but the way she played was phenomenal. But the fines, I think, for India will be Amanjot and Sneh Rana. And Sneh Rana is not a fine, but she coming back and showing what she
Amanjot is
is
also not
capable.
a fine. Naman, Amanjot भी तो थी,
Hmm.
injured हो
Yeah,
गई
I
ना
mean,
वो.
Come back.
she's coming back from injury and she's showing that they have the talent to remain in the team and do what is necessary. I think that kind of tells you that these players are still in the hunt and they can be considered for the going ahead. So I think that is a big positive for India.
Yes. Trishadi, taking a cue from that, I think Amanjot Kaur has been superb. Two opportunities in two matches. She took, I think, 6 wickets now, 3 wickets each. And today, I can remember in the pre-match live of the last match, me and you discussing that our pacers need to take those early wickets, and Amanjot has done that only in both these matches. Even today, also, if you can remember that, I think the first 2 or 3 wickets have been taken by her only. Out of four, maybe 3 wickets have been taken by her only. So, how good she has been, how impressed you have been with Amanjot Kaur.
See, the best thing is it's not only about the number of wickets that she has picked up, it is also about I think out of six of those, if I'm not wrong, four is bold,
Clean bold.
you know?
Mm.
Yeah. And why is that significant? Is that shows you the line and length that she's bowling. She's
Wicket to wicket.
absolutely keeping it. Yeah, and she's absolutely keeping it stump to stump, which is what we keep saying. Keep bowling in that channel. Do not give the batters any room. And this is where the skill point also comes in. So if the other team batters were skilled enough, say for example, if you keep bowling stump to stump to someone like a Smriti Mandhana or a Jemima Rodriguez, especially to Jemima Rodriguez, she will use her wrist to play and place those balls in gaps. But I don't think the Sri Lankan batters are as skilled to do that. So bowling straight up, stump to them has worked so beautifully, and that is what I liked about Amanjot. You know what best part about Amanjot is she is a lot like someone like a Krunal Pandya in the sense she knows her strengths and weaknesses as a bowler. She knows this is what I can do and this is what I cannot do. So let me not try that. So she didn't go for swinging the ball or trying to get movement or bowling slower. She first focused on getting her line and length right, and she has got the results from the moment she has, also I like the way she is using the crease while bowling, going further away from the stumps, then coming in. So I think very very beautiful display of medium pace bowling.
Absolutely.
Trishita,
But yes.
Naman wants to add something. Naman,
no,
why
no, I
is
don't
your
want.
phone adjusting its camera on its own?
That that is an FaceTime feature, so that is kind of inculcated into this app also, I guess. No, but I wanted to ask Trishati, were you this big of a fan of Krunal Pandya before he joined RCB, or because you have been giving his example now very often?
I am not his fan even now. I
But
Mm.
you
just
have been giving his example every
yeah,
now
I
and
just
then.
like so here's the thing. I think I have given this lecture every time that I have led a team also, that it's very important. Or even Snehashi, I think 2 days ago I was telling him the same thing, that what is extremely important, not Snehashi, sorry, to Rohan, that what's extremely important, Naman, even for you and me, to know is what are our strengths and what are our weaknesses. What that does is, say for example, I'm senior, not say, this is the truth, I'm senior to the two of you, right? Now if you guys start doing well, in general we see that the person starts getting insecure or starts getting worried, right? Same happens to cricketers. Say for example, Krunal Pandya isn't a Virat Kohli. He's half this half that. And uh, then for that person, and for say corporate employees, for us to know strengths and weaknesses is very important, because you know what to work on, what not to work on, what you can do, what you cannot do. That stops you from getting insecure, keeps you confident, and helps you perform. That's where I brought in Krunal Pandya, because he's a very average player. You know, one of the reasons you cannot bring in someone like a Djokovic for an example, he's a beast. You're not going to get a beast all the time. Roger Federer, he is so elegant that it looks crap when he literally plays tennis. You're like, tennis kitna hi tough hai, main bat utha lunga ho jayega, but it is not that, right? In the same way, someone like Virat Kohli hitting a cover drive, Woolward hitting a cover drive, you really think it will actually you're gonna replicate that? No. But Amanjot Kaur is that kind of a player who is very relatable, because Amanjot Kaur is not an outstanding player or once in a lifetime player like Shafali. Shafali is a once in a lifetime player. So they become hit and misses. But people like Amanjot Kaur or a Krunal Pandya, when they know that these are my strengths and weaknesses, they can then play their entire career around that. That's the entire point. Just to clarify, everyone who plays in RCB, I'm not their fan.
Yes. Yeah, Tushar is a diehard RCB fan. Doesn't mean that every player he is a big fan. Yes.
And I
But
believe
yes,
it that even if
Shruti
Virat
Mandhana.
retires, just saying, even if Virat retires, I'll be an RCB fan.
Yes. Okay, Smriti Mandhana has won the Player of the Match award as expected, and Sneh Rana has been named the Player of the Series. So that's a very good news that Sneh Rana on
I
her
have told
comeback.
you, if Sneh Rana picks up 3-4 wickets today, then you
Yeah.
have no other
Yeah, you
option.
told only in that pre-match
Yes.
live that if today she picks up this amount of wicket, then it is true that. So
See,
Tushadi,
Smriti
you
Rana
start.
is also an example of this kind of a bowler. You know, Naman,
Yes.
that
Tushadi,
she
few
goes
words
after her
on Sneh
speed.
Rana. Outstanding comeback, Player of the
Oh,
Series.
beautiful comeback. In fact, it's sad that she had to make a comeback and she has to prove her point over and over again. Because I'm worried. Sitting here, I'm worried that she might not be in the plane to England. You have to choose between a Deepthi Sharma and a Sneh Rana.
Mm.
But her batting order is what is worrying me. Sneh Rana even today did not come out to bat. You
Yes.
sent Kranti Gaur. You sent
Yes.
Kranti Gaur before Sneh Rana.
I was just going to tell that.
I don't know if Sneh Rana has not been batting well in the nets, but to send Charani before Sneh Rana, to send Kranti Gaur before Sneh Rana shows that in the batting order, at least she does not feature in the top 8 even. And then, if you have to choose one off spinner, who will you go for? If you actually thought of dropping Deepthi with that 94, the
Hmm.
problem is if you see 94 versus 16 wickets, I think she has got 16 wickets in this series. If you see
Yes.
that suddenly selectors you get that space where the selectors can discuss the fact that here it was a low, slow turning track. So a Sneh Rana got 16 wickets. In England, probably Sneh Rana will not get 16 wickets. So then do we go for two off spinners or do we drop Sneh Rana? It will come to Sneh Rana only because of the whole 94 that Deepthi scored. As I've been saying, the career saving 94.
Yes. Maybe a harsh call, maybe waiting. But Naman, few words on Snehana on her comeback.
Yeah, I mean, I think Krisha summed it up.
Hmm.
What I can add is that I mean, yeah, she has been phenomenal. She took up opportunities, the the minimal opportunities that she has been given. She took it up because India has been stricken with injuries in terms of the bowling department, and I think Sneh Rana coming in and performing like that just gives us the boost that going into the World Cup we have a few options, and with Sneh Rana taking up her responsibilities particularly well. As I mean, to be fair, she is a senior player, and as a senior player, she is doing well. That means that youngsters will also start to learn from her, start to see that okay, the seniors are also coming into this good of a form. We can also replicate something of that and contribute towards the team. So that kinds of give a big boost for the team, and yeah, again, she was someone that India was able to rely on this tournament every now and then. Whenever India was not able to get the wickets, she was the one who came in and got those breakthroughs at crucial junctures, especially against that South Africa game when Brits got cramped because of the heat and she left the field. It was Sneh Rana who came in and brought the game back to in India's favor. So I think that is something that tells you that she is someone you can depend on. Like Indian men team depends on Jasprit Bumrah to come in and do that kind of stuff. Sneh Rana today, I think in this series did that kind of stuff for India.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, I will ask this question to Naman first, and then Trishadi, you tell your thoughts. In the pre-match, there was a lot of comments about the number three position and Harlan Deol. I think today also she was looking very good until that soft dismissal. I think there was a high chance that she could have won. That was a very soft dismissal, straight to the hands of the I think Vyanga. I think Vyanga was bowling, if I am not wrong. So Naman, how do you see that? I think the partnership was going strong. Hallin was doing so well, I think, at number three. But how do you see that? Hallin is the number three. That because many of our viewers are not so convinced with Hallin Deol at number three.
Eileen Deol. Yeah, I mean, I think she has done enough in this tournament. There have been instances where she has seemed a bit stuck, but I think what the role of number three is to take the innings forward. Right now, the openers are doing that. They are the one who have been taking the innings forward. They have been the one kind of playing the anchor role, either be Pratika or in this game Smriti finally. But Harleen Deol, I think, stitching partnerships, even though she was slow, she was able to defend her wicket. That's the most important thing. There was no collapse coming in at any one of these games. In any one of these games, India didn't have a collapse because they were able to stitch those. Even though it was small, they were partnership strong enough to keep India in the hunt to score big enough runs, and that I think Harleen did her part. I mean, uh, there might be options. They can depend on someone else, but I think for me, I think Harleen has done enough to continue at the number three position.
Ishadi, Alindal, number three.
Yeah, if after all this Harleen does not play at number three, then I mean, then what? Okay, what can you say? But no, the thing which I kind of frowned to was I don't think any of the matches Harleen actually started
Fluently.
very confidently. Yeah, fluently. That's the word. Correct.
Mm.
She did not start fluently in this game. Also, she was what 8 of 22 balls, and it is not about the strike rate. It is about getting stuck at one end. Thankfully, Sri Lankan fielding was pretty average level, so that also helped. But this has become a pattern with Harleen. First 30-35 balls she struggles, then she looks like she's in the form of her life, and then she gets out cheaply. My
Hmm.
only thing is at number three, I am not going to be happy with 50s, 60s. It's not about me. I'm talking about like India. It's not like people need to impress me. But I'm saying 40s, 50s at 1, 2, and 3. I think that is the reason you dropped Shafali, right? That she gets you starts but does not convert it. Um, the benchmark cannot be different for the rest of the batters. It has to be the same for every single batter, at least the top three. When by the time a Harman or a Jemima comes in, it completely depends on the situation. They might not get enough deliveries at all. And I think both Herman and Jimmy played very well. But if you talk of Harleen, it has actually become a pattern. And my only concern is against big teams, they're going to utilize that first 35 balls. What it does is Harleen might stay not out. But in fact, there was a point of time where I was sitting and saying, oh my God, Smriti is going to do something stupid and get out. Because the pressure is mounting. If I'm sitting at home and thinking, oh my God, these people aren't scoring, think of it when you are there. And Smriti had not got a big score. For a batter like Smriti, this series was very thanda. You know.
Yes.
So she must have had that kind of urge to wait on. But now think of this: if this was not a tri-series final but a World Cup final, those 35 balls were going to put you under tremendous pressure. With Sri Lankan bowling, you might not worry, but with Australia, South Africa, you will start worrying, and then the other end batter starts hitting. And what Naman is saying, I completely agree that Harleen on her part, if you then pick up the scores and you pick up others who have played at number three, which we have done it. Snehashish, you and I have
Hmm.
checked the
Hmm.
numbers, we have properly sat and analyzed the whole thing. Harleen has got the maximum chances. And Harleen has 50s and 100s to her name, which a Yastika doesn't, which Tejal doesn't, and Jimmy is not given a chance. So, of course, Harleen is your number three. But if Harleen is your number three at the World Cup, I would want to see a more confident Harleen. The other thing, what I would love to see is Harleen bowling more because she'll get in that variation. If you're not getting in Priya Mishra, then Harleen should bowl more.
Okay.
Though I don't know how much she can do it because she was out from the second WPL season because of a knee injury. And once those
Yes.
injuries happen,
Yes.
it's very difficult.
Hmm. Okay, let's move on to the comments. First comment is Asim Hans. Master stroke or desperation? Holding back Sneh Rana's overs today. Amanjot proving her inclusion in the side. Where does this leave Arundhati? Why aren't the other bowlers able to take wickets? Whew. One comment, four questions. Okay. Okay, Tushadi. First question. Holding back Sneh Rana's overs today. Master stroke or desperation?
Desperation for what?
Yeah, I was thinking
I
it.
think I think what happened was, if you check properly, every time there was a left-hander, Sneh Rana was brought in. So I think that stats was
Hmm.
played. Not stats. That what do you call it? That matchup was played on.
Yes. Second question, Amanjot proving her inclusion. I think we have discussed it that Amanjot has been pretty good in 2 matches. Let's see whether she gets more chances. Hopefully in England she might get more chances, but let's see. Okay, where does this leave Arundhati? This is an interesting question. Tushadi?
At home.
This might be the shortest and the most correct answer might be at this moment. Yes. Why aren't the other
Waiting for the
bowlers
next
able
season.
to why aren't the other bowlers able to take wickets? Naman, you
They were
take this.
plain boring. Oh, sorry. Please, please.
No, no. You can copy paste Naman if you want.
No, no. I mean, it's hard to answer that, but I think Sneh Rana was able to adapt to the conditions the best.
Hmm.
She was, I mean, that experience comes in at that point in time. Someone like Cherny is playing her first, I think, first series in South Sri Lanka. That kind of is a bit tough. And then I think I expected a bit more from Deepti Sharma, who didn't do much with the ball. I think India might be looking at that as something that might be a bit concerning. She did give a 90 plus score, but that was also a solitary score. And I think Deepti Sharma's performance will be a biggest negative for India, the way she has done throughout this series. She, being an experienced player, being a senior player, I think she should be the one leading from the front. But I think Sneh Rana was exceptional. She took up the responsibility, and I think what she knows, she did it best. And the rest of them, I think Journey did well, did good enough, not well, but good enough for her first series. But I don't think you can ask much more from a
Even,
young
even
player like
even
that.
today, I think considering debut, Kranti did good enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, she didn't take any wicket, but she looked decent enough. But
yeah.
again, I think the smile of Trishadi says a lot. That you have given the debut cap, you have given her batting, you have given her bowling. I think now it's done. Now, when she will make a comeback, now that's the main question. Hopefully, management will prove wrong us and give her more chances. Yes. Okay, sportsman saying, is this the first time Smriti scored century in a big match? Also, has Sri Lanka cemented her spot by this spectacular performance in Tri-Series? Trishadi, finally the Hudo is going away, scoring
Was this a
100
big
in
match?
final. Yeah, not a big match, but at least in final. I'm saying that.
Try series final against Sri Lanka. Big match. Oh. No, I don't think it was a big enough match. I don't think that Smriti was under pressure. Had in fact, I would have said Smriti was under pressure had she not got that 50 against what was that match where Jemmy got 100? South Africa. No, Sri
South
Lanka.
Africa. Hmm.
South Africa.
South
South
Africa.
Africa. Yeah. So in that match, Smriti got a 50. Had she not got that, she might have been under pressure. But you have to understand the pressure in this series could be her own pressure that, you know what, I am not scoring. This
Hmm.
is not a big occasion because the team is not under pressure. I mean, Pratika is performing. You have Harmanpreet to follow, and you have a Sri Lankan bowling lineup. So out of what? Out of the four matches that Sri Lanka has played, five they have barely been able to take wickets, and this is something that I said in the morning as well, that all the three teams have struggled to take wickets apart from a Sneh Rana and to some extent Vihanga or Amanjot Kaur. But Amanjot and Vihanga both have taken these wickets in about 2 matches. So if you actually look at
Hmm.
it, then other than Sneh Rana, none of the bowlers have been consistently picking up wickets in every single match. So it has been a
Well,
difficult series for bowlers in general. And I'm not saying the pitch has nothing for them. I just thought the lines and lengths and over variation was the problem. And that is where I don't see. Again, a century is a big deal. It's not like it isn't, but it's also not like it has turned off that that curse that she still has, that knockout matches she does not really perform well. This might count as knockout match and improve that record, but I think Smriti Mandhana herself, in her head, would know it was not that big an occasion.
Yeah. At least for her confidence, it was good that she scored that 100. She will be happy. That
Always.
is,
See,
yes.
hundreds are always good. If you're scoring hundreds or picking up wickets, it's always good, yeah. But
Yes,
it's the
absolutely.
occasion that also you have to keep in mind.
Yes. And Prince of World has come up with a very good comment that truly saying that drop catch of Smriti Mandhana cost very much for Sri Lanka. Absolutely. I think it was on 21, right, Trishadi? 21. Yes. So approximately 100 runs added by Smriti Mandhana.
And think of this, if the target then becomes 100 less, it's a whole different story altogether. Also, Harman and Jemmy were able to play freely and express themselves because of that 100 from Smriti. So it could have changed a lot of factors had that catch been taken. In fact, think of this: Smriti's catch at 21 and Pratika's catch at naught. Sri
Hmm.
Lanka was going to win this.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Naman, take this principle saying tell about 340 scores of Indian innings. I think those were crucial innings considering that the start given by the openers. Because if you see the strike rate, I think those were needed at that moment to reach that 340 run mark. How do you see that batting approach of Team India scoring those quick 40s?
Yeah, I mean, there's always an anchor player that you require in a match. I mean, 50 over match, you need someone to just take the game till the end, till the last overs,
Hmm.
score big runs, while the others just continue pitching in as much as they can. And that's what I think Harmanpreet and Jemima did at a strike rate of more than 100. They added extra runs that were crucial for the team to go past someone somewhere like a target of 300 plus. So that kind of is what I think that strategy played well. But I think yeah, Harleen Deol, she started off slow, but I think she controlling her innings and going till the, I mean, till 48, 49, whatever, however much she scored. I think that kind of also helped India to just stabilize that. There was not a collapse coming in, or there was no pressure on then Smriti Mandhana that, okay, the other batters at the other end have started to fall out. I need to score furthermore. There might be pressure that Harleen wasn't scoring in the initial part, but I think she also did well by staying put and
Hmm.
finishing her innings however she did, even though it was a soft dismissal.
Okay. Tiger was saying, where are our number one bowling attack like Pooja, Renuka, Sriyanka, etc.? Everyone is injured.
NCA.
NCA. Okay,
So Pooja, I think, has finished her surgery and gone back home. I think. Let's
maybe,
see.
maybe. Oh, okay. Tiger was in the next comment telling that are they all injured? Yes, they all are injured.
Today something
The,
happened to Kranti Kaur also. She fell down after running after the ball. I mean, why? There is something about the Sri Lankan ground. I'm telling you, Ha- somebody or the other, and the heat, of course. Somebody
yes.
or the other is getting injured or heat cramps every single game. साउथ अफ्रीका का तो सीरीज ही बर्बाद हो गया उसके चक्कर में.
हाँ, वो उनको बहुत तकलीफ हुआ है सीट पे. Okay, Asim, good observation again, Hasim. Pratika getting out on left arm orthodox thrice in the series, twice by Ranaway and once by Malaba. Is this a potential concern? Rishadi?
Yeah, yeah, of course it is. But you also have to see that. See, anyway, I think the batters get that angle a little. That angle makes it difficult. And both Smriti Mandhana also has got out to left arm spinners today. Who did she get out to? By the way,
Vyanga,
Vihanga. So today she got out to an off spinner, out and out off
right
spinner.
hand off.
But in the first game, she had got out to Ranavira, and in one more game, she had got out to Chloe Tryon. So there's definite issue with both our openers, but I don't think it's that major. But incoming is a bit of a problem for Pratika, maybe because of the way her bat comes down. The second ball that Madari had bowled, which the catch was dropped, that was also an incoming one, and she kind of, that shape did not help her shot. So I think it has got something to do with her. Her downswing has changed. I think her that
That
blade, the
swing.
way her bat
Hmm.
used to come down, that has become a lot more closed now. But I still think there's a little bit of maybe room for improvement yet for in-swingers.
Okay, Ramaji saying, how would be the mindset of Kranti after the match is over? She was given only 5 overs to bowl but couldn't get any wicket. Is she the first person in women's cricket to debut in finals? Rishati.
I have no idea. This ये
No
stat
idea.
तो मेरे को नहीं पता भाई. But
नहीं,
फर्स्ट नहीं हो
कोई
सकता क्योंकि उस तरफ से भी डेब्यू हुआ है ना. तो
हाँ
दोनों तरफ
exactly.
से डेब्यू हुआ है तो फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड वहीं पे ही हो गया होगा. But as a player, it's not a great feeling because you have just got 5 overs. It's not like you batted for 15, 20 balls. It was just one ball that you went and stayed there. So, yes, your debut is done. If you're dropped from the team, your comeback will be very difficult. But why did you make a debut? Of course, your performance was good, but it wasn't
Yes.
as good because if it was that good, then you would have stayed on. So I think we have
Mm.
that problem. In fact, I had sent Sneh, I sent to you only, no?
But what?
That list of players who have made a debut
Oh
for
yes,
Indian
yes. You
cricket.
sent me that. Mm-hmm.
So
That's a
Naman,
proper
something very
15.
interesting.
Another 15 member squad for World Cup. You India can send.
Yes, there's something very very interesting, but not January. Let's take this to December, right? So if you
Mm.
take it to say 27th December 2023, say India has got India has played 23 matches. How many debutants can you guess? 17. In 23 matches, you have 17 debutants. England 18 matches, 6 debutants. South Africa 16 matches, 6 debutants. Sri Lanka 17 matches, 5 debutants. New Zealand 15 matches, 3 debutants. Bangladesh 14 matches, 3 debutants. Australia 18 matches, 1 debutant.
I think Georgia won.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pakistan 11 matches, 1 debutant. So in India is playing a different sort of a game
Yes. Take the
altogether.
positive. We are working on the grassroots level. That is why we are getting
Yes,
these talents. Yes,
yes.
that's the positive. Yes. Okay. Tiger was saying not having single all-rounder in top six gonna cost us big time in World Cup. Can we give chance to Pooja or Amanjot at 3 or 5? See, for Pooja, she is injured, so no point of discussion about her. And you cannot use
But that
Amanjot at
doesn't
number 3 or
change
number 5,
anything.
right? Your
No, but
your top five are all set for the World
why?
Cup.
But changing the batting order, how does that change anything?
Exactly. Top five batters, you're all set. Pratika,
Yeah.
Smriti,
No, but there is an
Harlin,
all-rounder, no?
Arman,
Pratika is an all-rounder.
Pratika all
Harleen
rounder. Yes,
Deol,
he will.
Harleen Deol is an all-rounder. Give Jemmy the ball. Jemmy is an all-rounder. Give her guitar, give her the ball. She knows to play.
Harmanpreet also used to bowl. Now she
Harman
doesn't.
can't
But
bowl.
she
Do
used to.
not forget Smriti Mandhana, Trishadi. That action. That action.
Both Smriti Mandhana and Virat Kohli have horrible actions. Man, बहुत मतलब horrible.
Both number 18.
हाँ,
Okay.
इतना
Sportsman
horrible
saying,
bowling action यार. हाँ.
Sportsman saying, guys, Pratika and Harlin are both slow starters. Having two of them in top three can backfire against big teams. Is it, Trishadi?
Like, ask something to Naman. Why are you asking everything to me, man?
Okay.
Ask
Okay, Naman, you say.
That can be a big issue. I mean, like Trishadi said, that someone like Australia or even England can cause a bit of problem when there are too many dot balls. That can be a
Hmm.
bit concerning because then that kind of piles on pressure on the other end. And the other player, someone like Smriti Mandhana, if she's playing good already, but with the mounting pressure, she will have to take the aggressor role and have to take the risk. That can get her out and kind of trigger a collapse of something like that. So it is a bit concerning, but uh, in a way, those players are kind of sticking to their basics and kind of sticking. Uh, uh, staying on the pitch for a longer period of time, and that kind of is necessary for stitching long partnerships, because it is difficult.
Hmm.
To be fair, in Indian conditions, they might be much more familiar with them, and they can play a bit better. I think Sri Lankan conditions, it was a bit hard. The heat was very strong, and the ball wasn't I mean, wasn't coming onto the bat very perfectly well. So that kind of is a bit difficult. So the conditions also play a lot of big part in how the batter plays.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Ramaji saying, I think what Naman said about Hallin, that not Hallin, but I found Pratika struggling in the last two matches. Frankly speaking, today Hallin played better than her previous innings in the two. I think that is what Naman also said, that Hallin at least played well today. Okay, moving on. Next few
The next
comments.
comment is super funny. If you just read a few words, yeah, Richa
Richi
is a
is a
very
very
unclean
unclean
wicket.
wicket keeper. Yastaka is better. Kiran training helped. Okay, but where do Mister Amar see Yastika doing keeping in WPL? Because after that she is not doing any keeping. She has not she has not been seen with the clubs in this series. That is my question. but
Richa,
suddenly why this question is arising to Shati that Richa is not that good wicket keeper and all. I think from WPL it is
because
suddenly raising this question.
because she has dropped dollies,
Hmm.
and she has been an unclean wicketkeeper apparently. I don't think it's
Unclean.
unclean. I just think that probably technically Richa is a little deficient when it
Hmm.
comes to wicket keeping. Even today, the catch Kranti actually could have got the wicket off. Was that Atapatu? There was a left-hand batter. I think it was Atapatu. There was a slash, and it literally went through Richa. Richa just had to move to her left. So
Okay.
I think there is a bit of fitness issue, and by that I don't mean she's injured. I just mean that sorry, wicket keepers need to be more. F- uh, Wicket keepers
Agile.
need to be fitter than others, and there is a technical issue. She does not sit completely and get up with the ball. She gets up on a little quicker. In slow low pitches she will find it tough. You will see in pitches like Ekana has now
Hmm.
still become faster, but somewhere like her Chepok, she will find it very
Yes.
difficult to keep wickets because the ball comes up, doesn't rise up that well. Somewhere like Australia, she'll be fantastic. In England, she'll be very good. In England, these questions won't arise because the bounce is true. She can, in fact, in England, you can half squat and then get up. You don't need to squat full. But in India, you need to squat. Sorry, India would be the wrong thing to say. In subcontinent conditions, you need to, kind of uh, sit properly and take that much time to get up with the ball,
Hmm.
which isn't happening. I also feel there were a lot of left and right hand combinations in this series, which probably did not go very well with her because it's difficult, to keep two right and left handers continuously. My only concern is if in subcontinent pitches she still keeps like that, then, and if there are variations, say a Priya Mishra also comes in, there is off spin, left arm spin, leg spin. How does she adjust? This is something that I keep thinking. Even the batting part, if you think and if you like dig her stats out, you probably will see that in slow low tracks she isn't that effective. Think of the Dubai World Cup, T20
Hmm.
World Cup. She wasn't effective at all. Here she played one good innings. Even today she got out quite early. The only thing is because her role is such, so you can say it's fine. She'll be a hit and miss. In 10 games she'll give you two performances, and she's that good and she has that much power, a game that most in the Indian team doesn't have, that you want to keep her as a batter. But I'm not 100% sure that if you want to keep her as a keeper in T20s, actually I wouldn't be concerned because some 7 8 balls would go to, or 10 balls, 20 balls. uh,
Yes. Okay. Next question. Amit Ganguly is saying, well, they are experimenting and finding the right combination to somehow compete in World Cup because World Cup is a very difficult tournament. But Who is the they here? India or Sri Lanka? Who is the they here? India or Sri
India.
Lanka?
I mean,
I
experiment.
would
I
guess
think
India.
India.
Yeah. Somehow compete in the World
Naman,
Cup.
take the
Amit
question.
Ganguly is saying. Amit Ganguly is saying somehow compete in the World Cup. Okay. Okay, Osiman's asking, what do you think of Yastika's future going forward? Why isn't she getting game time? Naman?
I think she hasn't done enough with the bat lately. That is something that might be a cause of concern for India, and that's why she has become a backup kind of a wicket keeper batter for India, with Richa Ghosh kind of contributing here and there. I am not sure how good she is. I mean, I'm not that technically good to comment on her wicket keeping, but I think before wicket keeping, I think India prefer a better, I mean, a consistent batter, and I think Richa with an aggressive show can give that. Right now, Yastika hasn't been able to do that even in the WPL. She hasn't done that pretty well. She was coming in, coming out. Her position was constantly being changed, promoted the order, down the order, then that is kind of a concern. And I think for now, unless she proves something, she does very good in the when given an opportunity. I think till then she's going to be remain. I mean, keep as the backup keeper.
Yes. Okay, Sanya Gulat has come up with a beautiful comment. I think Trishadi will love it. Jamie hit same number of boundaries as Harlin, but her strike rate is much, much better than Harlin. This shows strike rate is not always about hitting boundaries. Very good point. Very good point. Okay, Tiger was Trisha also Sefali was removed because of technique deficiency and strike rotation in ODIs. Yes, strike rotation is a part maybe. Strike rotation.
Strike rotation.
Uh, the technique deficiency I don't know, but the strike rotation maybe.
Strike. How can strike rotation be a part? How much strike does Smriti Mandhana rotate? How much strike does Smriti Mandhana rotate?
Yeah, that you can say. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, the answer is no. It was, and I don't think. See, you also have to understand that certain players are taken for certain roles. Nobody had taken Shafali Verma in the team so that she'll come and rotate the strike. Nobody wanted
Yes.
that. We wanted
Yes.
boundaries, sixes. We wanted to disrupt the power play. That's in the long
Hmm.
and short of it. And she was not able to do it completely. Say, for example, today, both Smriti and Pratika had started slowly. They
Hmm.
both were looking scratchy, but they were what 40 odd in the power play without loss. And that is where, in the end, you can go and accelerate. But with Shafali, what was happening was you are 40 in 4 overs, 40 for no loss in 4 overs, and fifth over you're getting out. It is not helping anybody in ODIs, and I'm specifically talking about ODIs. So yeah,
Hmm. Okay, Ramaji is saying Richa and Jemima are the best finishers so far India has got. I don't want Jamie to go back to the top order because it is easy to find top order batter, but difficult to find finisher like her. Okay? Even India team management are not willing to send that to the top. So be happy, Ramaji. Don't need to worry. Yes. Okay, last few comments. Prince of World still Jamie hasn't receiving credits are very much deserves. It will happen. We have to talk about this again and again in every single match.
we give her credit, Prince of World. That's why you should listen to our show. That's it.
Yes. Okay, Asim Khan saying desperation. I think it is regarding that keeping Sneh overs for the later stage to get wickets later on the innings. I think that may be a strategy. Maybe you cannot say desperation. You are keeping
I did not
Sneh over for
understand
the.
because
How is that desperation?
Yeah,
yeah,
आसिम खान
exactly.
asked ना पहला क्वेश्चन में कि ये
Oh,
स्ट्रेटेजिक मूव
हाँ
था
हाँ.
या डिस्परेशन था कि स्नेहाना के ओवर आप बात के लिए बात मतलब लेटर स्टेज के लिए रख दिए आपके पास।
Still, I
तो
don't
अभी
think
आसिम खान बोल रहा
desperation
है
is
कि
the
मेरे
right
हिसाब से
word.
डिस्परेशन है क्योंकि आपको लेटर स्टेज में विकेट लेना था। तो ये तो स्ट्रेटेजिक मूव भी आप बोल
विकेट्स तो
सकते
हर वक्त ही चाहिए.
हो। हाँ वही
लेटेस्ट
है।
Desperation
स्टेज
किस
विकेट.
बात का? You have scored 342.
They are desperate all the time to get those 10 wickets.
Yeah.
लेटर में
Well
छोड़ेगा
done,
सिर्फ.
Aman. High five.
Okay, Mandeep saying, well played, Team India. Yes, we criticize them a lot, but I will give credit when it's true. But it's not the avenge of Asia Cup. Come on, Asia Cup greater than Prime Nations is. हाँ, कोई बोल ही नहीं रहा है कि एशिया कप का बदला ले लिया या इंडिया
हाँ
भी
हाँ
कभी
बोल रहे
सोचा
हैं,
नहीं
हमारा
है.
थंबनेल बोल रहा है.
हाँ, इंडिया भी कोई भी प्लेयर नहीं सोचा कि हम लोग बदला ले लिया. ठीक है, ट्राई सीरीज खेलना है, ट्राई सीरीज खेल ले, जीत गए, बस
तो
इतना ही.
थंबनेल में लिखना पड़ता है वरना आप ही लोग नहीं आओगे.
ओ अच्छा,
थंबनेल
हमारा
में लिखना
थंबनेल
पड़ता है
में
वरना आप ही
है,
लोग नहीं है.
इसलिए ये क्वेश्चन आया. ओके ओके, अच्छा, वो थोड़ा आपको समझना पड़ेगा. वो थोड़ा सोशल मीडिया का थोड़ा ट्रिक्स है, वो आपको समझना पड़ेगा.
SEO.
हाँ. Yes. Ramaji, I think Direction equally deserve Player of the Series award because when the whole South Africa team struggled to play in that super hot humid condition, she excelled.
I
Absolutely.
agree.
And
I
I think
agree.
the best part where she bats so down the order. Still, she is the I think highest run scorer in the series. So it shows that
But
how good
player
she
of
has
the
been.
series,
Huh?
player of the series, she wasn't able to finish off the things for South Africa in most of the games. I mean, she played
Correct.
brilliantly
That,
well,
that is where
but
Yeah.
player
Smriti
of the
Yes.
Mandhana.
series, Derek.
That is
Yes.
where
The,
Sneh Rana won
the
it.
the result the
Smriti
result
Mandhana
didn't
taking
go in
16
their
wickets
favor.
in a series.
That is why. Snehana, Snehana. Yes. Okay. Okay. Next comment. Okay, Mandeep. Shruti mentioned that it is challenging
Smriti
for bowlers
mentioned.
that pitches had been batting friendly. Oh, okay. Batting friendly pitches. Okay.
Okay.
मान ले. Okay. Pavan Suresh, when will be Women's World Cup schedule announced? पता नहीं, शायद हो जाएगा.
Naman
अभी
knows.
तो थोड़ा, अभी तो और भी
Naman knows.
इतना ही डिफिकल्टीज अभी चले. आपको पता ही है, सबको ही पता है कि क्या क्या चल रहा है अभी इंडिया में. तो थोड़ा सब शांत हो जाए, शायद उसके बाद सब हो जाए, मिल जाए. Selby Rodriguez saying, will women's team will try to win the World Cup or will they only win bilateral? No, no, they will definitely try. Every team would always try to win the World Cup. So they will definitely try. Naman, what you would say?
I mean, why will any team compete? Even Sri Lanka playing in the World Cup is going to try to win. Why would someone just compete for the sake of
Especially,
it?
especially when the World Cup is happening in your home. So I think
Yeah,
they will try
No,
their
obviously.
it does not matter home or away.
Yeah,
Playing
but
a
that is
World Cup, you're not trying to win it. क्या बात कर रहे हो? I agree that there have been times when we have looked listless and we might win the World Cup, we might not win the World Cup. That's a separate thing altogether. But who said, like, who wakes up and says we want to win only bilaterals, no World Cup? ये कौन बोलता है भाई?
Portugal.
Okay. Okay, Tiger was also saying the same thing to Ramaji that Jamie should play at number five. It is very hard to find finisher at five like her who can play the according to the situation. Okay, okay. Ramaji Amanjot Kaur 8 wickets in 3 matches. I would be upset if she doesn't get a chance in the playing 11 in the World Cup matches. Besides bowling, she's a gun fielder and a decent batter. Yes. I think we all three agree all of this, but it all depends on that right person and Indian team management. So let's see whether she gets or not many chances. Okay, last two comments. Selvi Rodriguez. Oh, this is the same one. Yeah, they will try. Yes. Mandeep, 342 runs is a fantastic score. At least 20-40 runs above than I thought. Foundation Trophy done. Now many boxes are yet there to be ticked. Especially picking wickets early on had been a problem, and the middle order. Middle over. Okay. Yes, I think Tushadi has started this live with that only. That there are many. I think India are the only team that, despite winning this series, they will go back to home with many questions to answer, especially in the bowling department. So hopefully, those areas can be improved ahead of the World Cup. Okay. Okay, Principal saying the best platform I found is Rep Sports to discuss thoughts of matches. Well done, team, and thank you. Okay, thank you, Principal. Okay, Tiger. Smriti biggest knockout 50 is versus England in semi-final in Commonwealth Games where India secured silver medal. Yeah, okay. Is the same comment? Yes. Selvi Rodriguez has that only one comment. Will the team try to win the World Cup or not? And she has commented that I think 3 4 times.
Yes, we will.
Yes. Okay, Mandeep finally has come up with a reply to Selvi Rodriguez. Gradually, progress will happen, girl. We cannot win abruptly. It is a process. We had to ensure the process is right. Result will follow. Lovely, Mandeep. Proper answer. Proper.
Wait a second. Mandi, first of all, we have been in two World Cup finals. The first World Cup final that we played was in 2005. And then the
Yes.
second World Cup final we played was 2017. Probably you had not woken up to women's cricket. That's understandable. But please, if you have not woken up to women's cricket, then don't say such things. Because for people who have watched women's cricket for over the years, it's kind of insulting to the light bearers, the torch bearers of women's cricket. Because we have been there in 2020. Also, we were in the final, so we have been making the World Cup final. So when you're saying step by step, we are not a Pakistan or Bangladesh when it comes to women's cricket. We are way, way ahead. We are probably the top in the top three or four. If you count, it's India, England, and Australia. Yes, we don't have a trophy to show for it, but even in men's cricket, there are two World Cups. There aren't 5 World Cups or 10 World Cups. So calm down. It will happen, but the process has not begun today. The process had become in the 70s. It will take time because there was no funding. It will take time because there was no infrastructure, no backing from BCCI. Things are gradually coming, and things are now gradually getting into place. Understand the history of women's cricket, and you will know that today's women cricketers have been able to reach here because of the numerous torch bearers, and they deserve equal credit. In fact, they don't deserve equal credit, they deserve more credit, because back then they were not paid match fees also. I don't know, would I be able to pursue it this seriously, women's cricket, if I am not paid? Or will Snehashish do a job where
Mm.
he's not paid for decades? Or will Naman do a job if he's not paid for decades? It was just they were playing for the country and nobody knew about it. They were in the World Cup final. We will win. Yes, I understand that until and unless you have a trophy to show for, it looks like you have not done enough. But it's not like the women's team has just begun the rise. In fact, this is the time we should actually stamp that we have reached where we have reached over the years. Sorry, but don't commit
Yeah.
such things that brings
Yeah.
out the angry rant in me. Please, guys. As a woman cricketer, I mean, it is very difficult to take all these comments.
Yes. Okay. Okay. We'll take last comment, and I think it is a very funny comment. So we'll end with that comment only. Please, both of you see this. Prince of World. If Shruti catch caught, then India might have scored 400. Herman 150 plus. What kind of comment is this?
I'm quite sure that Tigros's blood group is B positive, so these positive expectation.
Very be positive. Very. Yes.
Well,
Okay. Okay.
Harman is capable of scoring 150. It's not like she
Yeah.
could be, but yeah, well,
Yes.
Half glass
Yeah.
full.
Most of the comments are done. Yeah. Okay.
exactly. Half glass full. No,
Yes,
half glass
and I
full
have to
or
write the
half glass
report
empty.
also, so it's time to wrap up the show. Okay, so thank you, Naman. Thank you, Trishati, and thank you, everyone. It's been a fabulous series overall, and we have enjoyed a lot with all these live shows and all. Obviously, we'll come back. Trishati, are we going to do a
Asim,
show about the
Asim
positive
Hans,
and all? Simons?
Asim Hans,
Last comment.
just see, he is talking to us about predictions.
Well, I have
The
not
last
found.
commenting them.
Ah,
Are Baba,
yes.
last comment. Yeah.
Yes, prediction 265 270 Sneashish, 315 Trisha, close enough to the score.
Ulta.
No, no.
It was Snehashish who said 315 and
Yes,
I had said 265.
yes, yes.
No, no, of course
Yeah,
Snehashish.
I told that Shriti will score big today. I told that. Yes,
Yes, yes, you got that correct. I got the bowling
Correct.
correct. Sneh Rana got
yes,
wickets. Naman
yes.
got nothing correct because he did not wake up in the morning and go for the show.
Yes, but thank you guys for joining in. Another series done. But Tushadi, are we coming back with that show regarding the positive and negative from all the teams
Which show?
from this series?
Yeah, I had actually written like 5, 6 topics, which I don't have to
Hmm.
show them. I'll show it to you for the next few days. Maybe we can come and before the IPL starts, even after the IPL starts,
Yes,
this is
yes.
a separate audience altogether. We
Done,
can
done.
just come and do small shows, not 1 hour shows, guys, but just
Yes,
15, 20 minute shows.
yes. Okay,
Because I
so
had
it is done.
actually written down a number of topics on which we can, have a chat.
Done, done. So we'll plan accordingly and we'll definitely come with that shows. Me, Naman, and Trishadi will be there. So thank you guys once again. So
Here,
milte
here
next
you
live
go.
pe.
See.
Oh, so they are the topics.
I've got 8. I have actually got 8 topics on which we can
Oh,
do shows. So
okay.
8 दिन तो
एक
चलेगा ही.
हफ एक हफ्ते का कंटेंट सॉर्टेड है गाइस नो वरीज ओके ठीक है थैंक यू मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट लाइव पे तब तक के लिए एंजॉय कीजिए और होपफुली तब तक शायद आईपीएल भी वापस आ जाए क्योंकि अभी तो जैसे रिपोर्ट्स चल रहा है शायद आईपीएल भी तब तक वापस आ जाए तो देखते हैं कैसे क्या होता है तब तक के लिए थैंक यू एंड गुड नाइट